Tell us why you originally applied to be a part of Survivor Bloomsburg Season 3 this season.
I just wanted to have some fun. It gave me something to look forward to, and I got to make some friends. It was pretty fun to do.
In episode 1, the first activity was the island hopping, where you had 30 seconds to get into trios standing into various hula hoops. Unfortunately, you and Abby were the two castaways who didn't get to land in a trio and had to sit out the first immunity challenge. How did that make you feel?
I was a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever you are the first one to just not make it, it puts a lot of pressure on you because people are like, you know what? You didn't make it, so that means you're not good. So I had to fight for my life if I wanted to make it in.
And did you consider forming an alliance with Abby at that point of the game?
I was considering forming an alliance with anyone at that point.
In episode 1, you eventually got to join a trio for the second immunity challenge, word sequence agility relay. How did you decide which trio to join?
Well, I knew one of them from a previous encounter, so I felt pretty confident with that team, and they looked the most athletic, so that also played a role in my decision.
In episode 1, Holly, Grace, and Olivia chose your group of Knowledge, Joseph, Cade, and yourself to join them to form Bonobo. How do you feel about being selected to join the second official team of the season?
You know what? I felt pretty happy. I'm not gonna lie. That just means I wasn't gonna get voted off. But again, 3 athletic people on my team. I was just there. I was like, let's go, guys. We did it. We won. Yeah.
Who did you see as the leader or the leaders of the first Bonobo group that night?
I saw Holly as a leader since she was there prior to this season, and she kind of knew her way around everything.
Why do you feel Bonobo did so well in the challenges that they didn't have to even go to tribal council once that night?
I feel like it was just the hype of the first episode. Everyone was so excited. Just energy was boosted up. It was pretty fun.
In episode 2, what were your thoughts about Hadden not choosing to join Yukari after returning back from Husky Island, but instead joining your Bonobo team?
I cannot tell a lie. I think that was a good decision on him.
In episode 2, in Immunity Challenge 1, tell us about the duck and weave tree untangle station on the quad, and then trying to solve that cube puzzle. What worked well or didn't work well for you?
So for the rope challenge, it was difficult. My partner was Hadden, and it was a little touch and go. Some people were trying to tell him what to do, and some people were trying to, do it themselves. I was just with him. I couldn't really help as much as I could have. And in the block challenge, it was just so confusing, honestly. So you had to have 2 separate words. I guess it was the same word. I thought it was a completely different word. And I kept looking at the back. I'm like, oh, I made a word. It's not the word that we were supposed to make. It just kind of went downhill from there.
In episode 2, Bonobo went to tribal council 3 times. What was that experience like after not having to go at all in the first episode?
You know what? I was a little frightened. I heard my name 5 times in the first tribal council we had, minus the one where someone did not submit their video on time. I heard my name many times, and I was freaking out. I was trying my best to do something. I was fighting tooth and nail just to stay in. And then all of a sudden, my name was out of the picture, and it was just a sigh of relief. And then from that point on, second challenge, we actually did something and we didn't get voted out, which was amazing. And then third challenge, again, we lost and we voted out someone who was not doing their part and not doing good. That's all I'm gonna say.
By the time you got to episode 3 at the rec center, did you have any alliances that you have created since episode 1 had filmed? And if so, with who?
I will not tell a lie. I actually formed an alliance with a lot of people. I knew so many people, and I had a lot of alliances with them, which turned out to be my downfall.
In episode 3, tell us about how the Racquetball Rodeo Challenge went for you.
I hit a ball. We didn't lose that challenge, so I can't really complain.
In episode 3, what were your thoughts about how the basketball challenge went for Bonobo?
I didn't really get to kick, so I personally cannot imagine all the stress and all the anxiety that people who had to kick had. Whenever we had to either catch or make a basket, that's where we fell flat. And unfortunately, we did lose that challenge, which cost us a player. And we were fine with that. Just one player, thankfully. But yeah, we had fun. Threw some hoops, kicked some balls. And that's all it is.
In episode 3, walk us through what playing the Yoga Dodgeball Dot Pickup Challenge felt for you.
I was standing my ground. I was like, you know what? If we mess up and it's because of me, I know I'm gonna get voted out. So that's why I stood back that episode. And I did throw a singular yoga ball, and it just so happened to hit someone. I'm pretty sure it did. And it was just great.
In episode 4, what were your thoughts about the first team swap of the season and you ending up on the new GIBBON team? What concerns did you see, or what opportunities did it create for you?
A concern I saw was I wasn't as bonded as other team members on my team, on GIBBON. For instance, 7 players on that team. 2 of us came from Bonobo, Joe and I, and 5 other ones were already on that team. So they made a bond already, and that did play a factor in my elimination. But I did have some high hopes because, all the talk about GIBBON being the best and not going to tribal council once, I had some high hopes until they went to tribal council 3 times.
Did you feel you were an inevitable target because you and Joseph were the only non-original GIBBON members on that team?
Yes, I will say we were targets. We didn't really form a bond with anyone. We just, it was best man for himself. And it just so happens, first one voted out is what it is.
It is what it is.
What were your thoughts about the creation of a 4th team called Blasula?
I was intrigued because, the legend of the Husky 3, whenever you think of that, could be just 3 teams. Nope, they added a 4th. And took me by surprise. I wish I was on that team because a lot of people from Bonobo were on that team.
In episode 4, tell us about the first immunity challenge, safety blocks. What made that so difficult for the new GIBBON team to get done?
It was just a matter of time and patience. It just so happened that we could not figure out how to cooperate with each other. Some people were just, holding the ropes up a little too high. I will admit I was one of those people, but as soon as I was told, hey Noah, drop the rope, I dropped it. So I listened. Unfortunately, we still lost. Is what it is.
It is what it is.
In episode 4, after you were voted out, the new GIBBON continued their losing streak and attended tribal council 2 more times. What are your thoughts about the demise of the new GIBBON team?
I felt a little bad, I'm not gonna lie. It sucks whenever your team is doing so good and then downfall. It just breaks my heart. I was a little happy though, I'm not gonna lie.
Do you feel this is the end of the GIBBON reign this season, or can the 4 that remain on the new GIBBON bounce back somehow?
I feel like there is a chance. Not a good one, due to the fact that the new Bonobo team didn't lose a single bit. But that all can change. Gibbon could come back. But then again, they could also fall.
You chose to stay and play Husky Island. What were your thoughts when you saw it was a puzzle that needed to be done to win?
I was worried, to say the least. I was trying my hardest to figure out what to do with that puzzle, because whenever I saw the puzzle, there was numbers on the back of the puzzle pieces, and I immediately knew they were number coordinated. And the one thing I didn't do was put them in stacks of 1 to 10, 11 to 20. I didn't do that, and that just spelled my demise from there.
Did you size up your competition that night as you faced off against Carlos, Joseph, and Hayden?
I sure did. I was working hard. I was focused. Whenever we were told, "Oh, are you guys nervous or anything?" I was like, I didn't speak at all. Not a single bit. I was focusing on my puzzle. But it all came down to the wire. And it just sucks to see myself lose. You know, I can't deny that. I was upset, especially because I had less than 10 puzzle pieces left. And then he won. It sucked so much, man.
How come you didn't make any alliances with Hayden and Joseph to work together at Husky Island and force a tie?
I wasn't really thinking about that. I just wanted to stay in, honestly. But if I had known that if we had a tie, we would all still be in there, I would 100% take that chance. Whether or not one of them would double cross me or someone else and just take the win all for themselves.
You were so close to winning, and it came down to literal seconds before Hayden took the win from you. What do you feel you could have done differently to yield a different outcome?
Like I said before, if I had stacks from 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, I would have probably had a better chance at beating him, but it also had come down to nerves, which happens to the best of us. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
If you had won that challenge and earned your way back into the game, what team would you have chosen to join for episode 5? Would you have gone back to the new Gibbon or try a new one of the other 3 teams, and why?
I would try one of the new 3 teams, mainly because Gibbon, again, they're on a losing streak, so I wouldn't really want to go back to them, even though they have great members on their team. I'd either go to Bonobo, because, you know, OG Bonobo, or the new team, which I forget the name of. But I'd probably go to the new team that I cannot think of the name of.
What did you learn about yourself while participating in SURVIVOR Bloomsburg Season 3?
What I learned about myself is that I can make alliances, I can have some fun, and I can make friends.
Of all the remaining players, who do you see as some of them who could make it to the Final Four this season?
That's a tough one. I'd say Holly, again, team captain of OG Bonobo, and I'd say Hayden. Why not Hayden? I want Hayden to make it to the Final Four just to spite people.
What do you feel makes the SURVIVOR Bloomsburg experience so unique and fun to do or even watch as a spectator?
I think it gives everyone something to look forward to, whether you're watching it through a video platform or you're watching it in person or even competing. It's just something fun to do.
Is there anyone you would like to thank who is supporting you in the campus competition? Like your family, your friends, anyone like that? Do you have any shout outs for them?
I would like to thank the committee for sponsoring me. Thank you. I would like to thank my mom for giving birth to me. I'd like to thank my dad, my parents, both of them, my parents, my family, my brother, my 2 sisters, my grandma back at home. Thank you, Grandma. I love you. And all my friends on campus who said, hey, I want you to win, and then I didn't, which sucks, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
If you could tell other students why they should consider applying for next year's Survivor Bloomsburg Season 4, what would you tell them?
I'd say give it a try. You know, if you're in it for the money, go for the money. But if you're like me, have some fun. And, you know, just don't get voted out. But mainly, just have fun with it. Make some friends, do all that kind of fun stuff.
This last question's a doozy. Do you have any final thoughts?
I'm coming back next year better than ever.